Hey everybody, and welcome back to another starter build. We are going to be working on the Boulder Cove map, one of the more popular maps on the Steam Workshop. And again, I think we're going to be using downloaded maps because what it's going to do is it's going to give us some more interesting landscapes to build on. It's going to help drive our creative inspirations and stuff. And one of the things I'm always trying to talk about on the Twitch channel is that, essentially, the creativity or whatever that we're putting into our cities is really just a product of the map and using the map to kind of like set down, the city in an interesting way, right? You can see already here we have kind of an interesting shape. I mean, the starting block is split by here. We already have some guidance from this beautiful interchange thing that they've already put on the map for us. So there's already a little bit of sort of not only is it just, this is kind of, a standard shape, maybe just a big hunk of land, but this splits it. This is kind of splitting it this way. And now we're starting to get some really interesting shapes in here and stuff. So yeah, let's just start building the city, right? Let's just start building the city. Now this map, unfortunately, does require a mod, a couple assets. So a couple of these trees are assets, and there'll be an all-in-one, just one-click download for the required assets and the one required mod, which is network extensions. So you can see here that we have some extra road types here. These are just extra roads that come with network extensions, probably because these right here come with network extensions. Now if you have mass transit, you get an equivalent version of these in mass transit, but these are the network extensions ones. So you don't need any DLC to load this map. We are playing it DLC-less, but you do need network extensions at least. So that's just a free mod that we can all get. So we need to figure out what we're doing here. This is a little baby roundabout, but it should be effective. I'm just looking at this map and we're already kind of thinking ahead, maybe sort of pre-planning out how this is going to go. I'm actually kind of seeing that this is the larger chunk of the island, right? This is the larger chunk of the island. This is the smaller piece of the island if we look at how the freeway is splitting it. And, if we wanted just to look around the map, you can see this is kind of inner part of the map this way, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I can imagine bridges going over to here eventually, and I don't know if a bridge to there would make sense. That might be a little bit too much, but there's already a bridge there and it could wrap around, and, maybe this becomes like a downtown or something like that. But this could also become a downtown area here. I think it would make more sense to have this as a downtown rather than this back here, right? That kind of makes more sense to me. So let's get into it. Let's try to get a profiting city going in the first little episode here. But I think this is either going to be low density that we ultimately make into high density later, or it could actually be sort of the commercial area, the industry area could be up into here, and this could be kind of what ties into like ports and things like that. This I think is going to be low density residential back here. Maybe industry. I mean, you could do it a number of different ways, right? You could have your industry in this back corner back here, and this could be low density residential and stuff. So actually, you know what? Let's start over here actually. Let's actually start over here. We are gonna, we have to get a road down. No matter what we do, we have to get a road down. And you know what? Let's turn on snapping. Let's make sure snapping is on. Snapping is on, but it's not wanting to snap. So I'm gonna hold Alt. That's gonna lock it in. That might be a precision engineering benefit, being able to hold, actually it's Control, I apologize. Holding Control there to kind of just lock that in. That might be in the game, I'm not sure. But I'm using some fine road tools and move it and stuff like that to be able to sculpt the roads a little bit better. But again, these are not required to load the city once it's been built. So we have this down. Let's pause the game so we're not losing the road maintenance, the unnecessary road maintenance. This I think is ultimately going to become just a little neighborhood right here. That's probably going to also come down, and actually you can kind of see how this right here, I think what we're going to want to do is we're actually going to take this road here and probably twist it more this direction eventually. And we might not get there in the starter build itself, right? But to be able to twist it this way, and then that could actually justify an industrial area out here potentially, or something along those lines. Because I don't think, if this is all low density, I don't think we really need this sort of hardcore of a freeway going to just a low density area, right? That doesn't quite make sense. But maybe going to an industry area, that makes a lot of sense. And, we did a straight line, and that's going to be kind of nice. And maybe we're just going to kind of come in here and, I don't know, do some curves off of this straight line. The only thing I'm worried about here is, okay, how do we then flip it up? So what we could do is let's bring this down to 20, and let's just kind of do something like this maybe. What would that look like at the same Yeah. Oh no, we're just kind of going with the flow here, right? It's a 145 angle. That's gonna have us kind of going back a little bit sharp. I'm just kind of making stuff up, right? We don't know what we're doing, I guess. Kind of just going with the flow here. I'm trying not to lose all of our money, but at least like we're starting to kind of make what could be a residential sort of neighborhood in here. Just kind of filling the space, nothing more, nothing less, you know? Some services, maybe, heck, you could even have just a little pocket of commercial out here. In fact, maybe that's where our initial commercial is going to go. Maybe we kind of just do something like this. Maybe we even freestyle it, but, or maybe, now I'm thinking, okay, do we go a little bit straighter with the roads for this section? And is that straightness like going to be a nice contrast to the curve that we have going on? And can that actually continue through here and give this whole area a little bit more structure maybe? We're getting some interesting shapes here, guys. It'd be cool if these were parallel. It'd be really, really cool if these were parallel. I'm wondering if we could maybe do something like that. It's so close. It's so close. I think we're going to call that parallel. I think we're going to call that parallel there. But this is slightly off, but it's so close that I don't think, you know, anyone's going to be able to notice. This right and that's how we like to go. So these are some interesting shapes that we're making, sort of triangular, rounded triangles and things, just kind of off, but also kind of, you know, reinforced by the natural geography of the land here. It's also kind of interesting because we also have some forested area, non-forested area that we can kind of play into and stuff. If we're going to do industry, I think actually the industry that we start with, and can we actually do, we can do a bigger road here. So I might kind of go in, this is going to be a lot more expensive, but I think, I'm trying to see how we could maybe do this without bopping a lot of these trees and things. Kind of just freestyling this a little bit, to be honest. Kind of just freestyling this. Let's get ourselves a little one-way loop here. This is going to be nothing fancy at all. We could come back here and do this much better. What we might do is we might at least give it like a 10-10 curve or something like that. Just give it just the slightest amount of personality there. But you can kind of see it's kind of going with the flow of the fertile soil there and kind of dodging the trees a little bit. Again, just using this a little bit. It almost seems like that should go out further and then come and then curve back. Maybe we'll change that eventually, but for now I think that's just going to be, you know, kind of our industry area, right? Actually, wait a second. I just thought of something. This comes over here and this goes up 15. Wait a second. Wait, whoa. That wasn't right. Yes, or maybe it was. Are those symmetrical? Okay, we got something going. I think if this whole thing was scooted up, it'd be better, and we could try. We could desperately, not desperately, but we could really try to do this with Move It, but I'm not. That's basically where I want it, right? That's kind of where I want it. That fits really well. Now the only question is, can we kind of like make this not look completely awful? That's the problem here. And you know what? Well, here. I like it. I really like it. Very simple, but that'll give us a good area there to build the industry. Now, what we probably want to do is, it will let us do this, nice, is go through and get rid of that stoplight. This is going to be completely unnecessary there. This is a one-way loop. So this whole thing right here is a big one-way loop. So cars can either go in this way, but they're kind of just flowing around and around and around, which is kind of nice. That's going to keep traffic flowing. Honestly, huge benefit that this map comes with some really cool little intersections. We don't have to worry too much about something like that for a little while, it seems. I think there's some other ones too on the map that are just nuts and stuff too. There we go. We got train over here. We got all kinds of things. So if you're kind of intimidated by those, then we can kind of avoid those, which is, I think that's a huge benefit. I like building them sometimes, but sometimes I just end up making boring ones that work. Okay. Kind of being a doofus here. We got to get some stuff down and get this city profiting. Now, this isn't probably going to look good initially, right? Water and power. The first water and power you put down is pretty temporary. It does look like it is going to be a good area to build. This is going to be a good area to build wind. We could also put wind over here, which could be where our sewage goes. Where does the sewage actually? I don't even know where this actually flows out to be honest. I'm going to put wind out there because eventually we're going to need to be honest, I'm almost kind of tempted to put this here, but it's going to just cost us that little bit extra that might not be necessary, but it'll be nice if both these are powered. But we're going to need to link up the whole grid anyway, so let's not... How much is this going to cost us? 4,000? Okay. We could kind of like... Eventually we'll be able to get rid of some of these power lines, but for now, right, we'll kind of need something that goes into like there. Man, this is actually going to be a little expensive. And it's not going to look good at all, but again, this is something that's so easy to replace eventually. We're saying that this could be a big, sort of a commercial area. So we're really going to want to make sure that this, without interrupting, trying not to interrupt as much of the sort of zoning as possible. I'm going to kind of end up doing something like that just to make sure that we get that where we need to go. Piping shouldn't be nearly as, well, maybe it will be just as expensive. Probably going to be a little bit more finicky with the piping too. What is it, 22 is the efficient width between pipes? 22 units, something like that. I think here, we'll go out with 22 one more time, but I think after that, because we're kind of at the edge of our little box, we're just going to go like this and eyeball it. Again, this is mostly all temporary kind of stuff, and it's easy to fix. This should be a functional city though, and I think what we're going to want to do is probably get more roads down. Let's see if we can finish this off real quick, and then let's get more roads. If we lose money, we're going to be just fine. In fact, you know, we're using network extensions. Let's use network extensions. You know, let's go in with these little skinny roads here. What's the total distance there? 17. It's kind of an awkward number. It's kind of an awkward number. I'm kind of wondering, okay, what's going to happen if we go in like this? Zoning's not great, but honestly, for a small neighborhood, for sort of a rural neighborhood, it might be okay. And what would be cool is if we actually sort of hooked in here and kind of came around like this. I'm just kind of seeing if we can continually echo these curves, right? Which is something we've done and talked about and stuff. So echo these curves, not enough money. But you can see how this would sort of ultimately connect and hook in if we had the money to keep that going. So that looks like a good area. Let's just start getting the zoning down and cross our fingers and hope for the best here. So I think there's going to be, we do need to at least start the residential here. So that's where the power is. And then we'll probably want to start the commercial over here. And we'll get some industry out here. And hopefully the game's smart enough to know or to add this. We'll go a little bit light for now because, and let's make sure our water and power are like set to the absolute minimum and hope that this works. But this is a nice little build, right? Like so far, I think this is actually looking interesting. We got some straight lines, we got some curved lines. We're kind of going with the natural flow of it. I mean, not only are we using the water, not only are we using the existing roads, we're using the tree patches. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying a map that gives you, we don't have elevation to play with here yet, at least in this section. But, you know, we got some interesting stuff sort of going on here. And we can sort of fit around this. It's not that we can't take out the trees. We could, but this is help guiding us into some interesting, I mean, we can look at this and be like, this is organic looking. This is interesting looking. So if we lay our city down like that in this sort of shape and stuff, it'd be kind of neat. It'd be kind of neat. Of course, here we're just kind of going to town on it. Not really worried that much. Houses are coming in. It's going to be a little bit before we're making a profit. Of course, it's not too big of a deal whether or not we go into the red in total, but we will want to make sure that this goes green eventually. So we are on speed 3 here, just kind of moving along. Can't really build anything yet. It'd be nice if this industry was pushed farther out. Like if the industry was out here, I think that's kind of where I would want it. If this is the start of the industry though, and maybe we have like another, I mean, this could even peel off. Like you could even have this sort of peel off and go this way, or maybe this one comes up and then sort of bridges over. Or maybe there's a little road right there that connects through and comes down into here, and then that connects over and connects up into here. You could do all kinds of interesting little things in this area, I think. Actually, we're running into power issues, actually. Okay, let's make sure the power is at full. That could be sort of a light problem. Saying it wants more industry, okay. Should be easy enough to do. If it wants to hop across there, that'll be good. Get the power over there. For the most part, we're just speed 3, or we're about to be making a profit here, guys. We're about to be making a profit. It seems to be happening. And we kind of just got to bring it back. We got to bring it back. We got to get to that first milestone. But actually, it'll be kind of interesting. Where does the, you know, maybe we save this section right here for the landfill. Maybe we even have like a little dirt road coming sort of, you know, just a little dirt road that sort of comes right there, and then the landfill kind of takes up that central space. I'm not sure. Not sure. I mean, if you're using parking lots or things, parking lots in the middle could make a lot of sense. We are officially making a profit, guys. There we go. Success. We have not failed with our initial 70,000 starting simoleons. And we have a lot of roads down, right? We can keep filling this with commercial. We could do commercial on this sort of water side if we wanted to. We could even sneak commercial. We could like, if this whole back area is commercial, we could even put commercial up here and stuff. It'd be kind of nice to start doing commercial over here though. I think initially that was kind of my intention, was to maybe actually have a shopping center. Maybe the shopping center actually comes out of here. Maybe it comes out of here and it's more kind of like over here more. In fact, this road right here, I didn't angle this road appropriately because this road really should be targeting underneath. There should be a little bit of an under right here. Just a natural sort of under this bridgeway. And coming around and swooping around and stuff. That's going to look great. Tying into a commercial area over here. Yes, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. How much does it cost to get the landfill going? Okay, we have hit the first milestone, guys. We have hit the first milestone. And we are making a profit. There we go, guys. I'm liking it. I'm liking what we got going. We do need more power, it says. We are going to need some more power. Looks like the map kind of strategically gave you a few places to put wind turbines that will give you the full sort of power amount. Now, we would need 10,000 for the medical clinic. That is going to be important eventually. We do not need the elementary school. So we're going to be saving up to the medical clinic. We're making 600 a month. We do need to remember, to bring our taxes up to 12%. And I think that's going to be a cut in the first little bit here. So let's continue playing the city. Let's keep fleshing it out. Let's fill up this box. Let's get some unlocked tiles. Let's keep the design idea going. Let's complete some of these ideas that we have to sort of tie this around and think about what these different, or all these different points on these roundabouts could ultimately be. But we have a successful starter city at this point. All the mods and stuff required in the save file and everything will be down below in the comments. But thank you so much everybody for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.